Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out the video. Now, this video is going to be talking about the fireworks matchup between Gennady Triple G Golovkin versus David Lemieux. Just announced a lot of buzz about this fight. Going to be happening on a pay-per-view. There's some mixed reactions to that, but overall, this is going to be a great fight for however long it lasts. Let's talk about both of these fighters, and let's talk about David Lemieux first. So, David Lemieux is a guy from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He's a guy known for his very aggressive style, and Lemieux is a legit one punch knockout artist, in my opinion. Now, when I look at what makes David Lemieux successful, I see a guy who has a vicious left hook, an excellent right hand. Also, when he gets you on the ropes, he uses a variety of punches, and his conditioning has improved from earlier fights in his career, in my opinion. Although in his last fight against Nadam, he faded, but Nadam was like a robot and just kept coming back after getting knocked down multiple times. Overall, though, I thought that was a very impressive win because Hassan Nadam, in my opinion, um, is a very skillful boxer. So I like that win from David Lemieux, and Lemieux is a guy. He also works the body as well. So this is what's going to be make this fight a tremendous matchup. Now, when we look at Gennady Triple G Golovkin, this is a guy who I believe is going for his 21st straight stoppage victory in this matchup. And when you look at Golovkin, you see a guy who has a nice jab, hard right hand, good left hook to the head and also to the body. And he throws also this looping overhand right shot. You'll see him in a lot of his fights do that recently. He knocked down Rubio with that punch. That's something new in his arsenal that I've seen recently. And he's up training in Big Bear with a lot of good up and coming fighters. He's got a lot of good training partners up there. Julius Jackson, a good sparring partner of him, is an up and coming fighter. Somebody to watch out for in the future, in my opinion. So Golovkin just has a lot of things going for him. And his ability to cut off the ring is second to none, in my opinion. He's the best in boxing in that aspect. Also, Golovkin, he has a tremendous amateur background, which we see in his fights. He shows lots of skills, in my opinion. And I think that we're going to be really impressed by the performance Golovkin brings in this fight because a guy like David Lemieux, in my opinion, is going to bring the best out of Golovkin in this matchup. Now, when you look at this fight and we talk about advantages, I believe a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I believe David Lemieux, sorry, actually has the advantage of being a one-punch knockout artist over Golovkin. I actually believe that he can finish a fight in one punch, whereas Golovkin definitely can as well. But I think of more of Gennady Golovkin is a guy who lands multiple punches to finish you, whereas Lemieux I think is the type of guy. If he hits you, say, with a flush left hook, you can go back and look at some of his old highlights or, right hand out of nowhere. He'll just get you out of there. Whereas Golovkin will hit you 3, 4 punches and sets it up better than Lemieux will. Um, that's one advantage I think Lemieux has in this fight. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. Just my opinion on that. Also, I believe that David Lemieux has a better hand speed than Gennady Golovkin does, in my opinion. And the other advantages I think that Gennady Golovkin holds over David Lemieux in this matchup is Golovkin just has a wealth more of experience than Lemieux in terms of amateur pedigree and some guys he's fought in the amateurs. Also, at middleweight, he's fought better guys than David Lemieux has in this point, in my opinion. Golovkin also has the better footwork, and what I mean by that is in terms of the way he moves around the ring and cuts off the ring. Um, Golovkin also, in my opinion, has a better chin. And yeah, I think personally he's a more accurate puncher as well, or just some of the advantages that Golovkin has over David Lemieux. And I also think that Golovkin can fight better off his back foot than David Lemieux can. So my prediction for this fight, I think Gennady Golovkin ends up winning this fight by TKO in the 8th round, but I think that David Lemieux is going to have some success early on in the fight, and this is going to be a guy that Golovkin is going to have to respect because this is the biggest puncher that Golovkin has faced, in my opinion, so far in the professional ranks. And that thing, I think that aspect of David Lemieux's game where his power comes into play, it will definitely, Golovkin's going to have to be more on point than he was defensively against Willie Monroe in his last fight. Ultimately, though, David Lemieux has been stopped against Rubio, but it is good to point out that back in those days, Lemieux actually was partying a lot. He wasn't 100% focused on boxing. So that's just something to keep in mind. And also, he's a lot younger then as well. He wasn't as mature. So he's definitely a better fighter than back in those days. Um, but I ultimately think that the pressure that Golovkin is going to put on Lemieux once he starts figuring out what Lemieux is going to do and he can adjust, and his boxing IQ is a bit better than Lemieux's, and also Lemieux's wide punches um, leave him susceptible to Gennady Golovkin counters as well. Um, so that's my reason for picking Gennady Golovkin, but definitely don't sleep on David Lemieux. I believe this will be his toughest challenge that he's faced, and I believe a lot of people will say this guy gave Gennady Golovkin the best fight uh, currently in Golovkin's career because Lemieux, like I said, pure aggression. He's a guy who has improved his conditioning and he hits extremely hard. So he can definitely has potential to hurt Gennady Golovkin in this fight. I just like Gennady Golovkin's overall boxing skills a bit more than Lemieux. But Lemieux, I have a ton of respect for the guy. I watched him for a ton of years. I respect him as a fighter, and he beats a ton of middleweights out there. Even if he loses to Golovkin, he still beats guys like Quillen, in my opinion. I think he beats Andy Lee. I think he beats a lot of top level guys in the middleweight division. So let me know what you guys think on this fight. I think it's going to be explosive. And my prediction is Gennady Golovkin gets his 21st straight stoppage victory. Thank you very much for tuning to the video, everyone. I hope you appreciate the video. Like it. Thank you very much, guys. And let me know what you guys think on the fight. Who you think wins this matchup.